Do you still think winning a woman's heart or earning respect at work means talking more, showing more, proving more? You're wrong. I've seen men burn themselves out with effort, with noise, with proof. They think the more they give, the more they'll be wanted. But every word, every gesture, every explanation makes them smaller. The truth is brutal. The more predictable you are, the less power you have. If you don't break that pattern today, tomorrow your reputation, your relationships, even your desires will be shaped by someone else's hand. This is not about wealth, not about beauty, not about clever lines. It's about control, about silence, about traps that make the other side chase while you remain still. And I will show you 5 of them, the same traps that stop the chase and rewrite the rules of influence. Niccolò Machiavelli wrote over 500 years ago, "Men in general judge more by their eyes than by their hands, because seeing is given to everyone, touching to few." I don't study this for history. I study it because it still governs every interaction I walk into. People don't care what you've built, what you've suffered, what you've proven. They care about what they perceive in the moment their eyes land on you. Perception is the throne. Reality is the servant chained beneath it. This is why I don't waste time defending myself. Why would I? Logic doesn't move people. Evidence doesn't change them. Their eyes move faster than their reason. Their emotions bind tighter than their intellect. You can win a debate and still lose the room. You can tell the truth and still be dismissed. Machiavelli wasn't writing tricks. He was writing laws. Human behavior bends to patterns, and those patterns haven't shifted since the Renaissance. Fear, desire, uncertainty. These 3 forces still decide loyalty, respect, and attraction. They move kings, they move women, they move crowds. I've seen it. In business meetings, in quiet dinners, in moments when silence crushed the air more effectively than 10 perfect arguments ever could. When my absence pulled more weight than another man's desperate presence. When what I did not explain made me stronger than what another man tried to justify. And that is what I will give you here. Not theory, not fantasy. Traps. 5 Machiavellian traps that twist perception in your favor. Traps that make you unpredictable, magnetic, untouchable. Traps that flip the chase until people lean toward you and never realize why. Most men will never grasp this. They will drown in their own words. They will write paragraphs to justify themselves to women who stopped listening 3 minutes ago. They will stand in boardrooms choking on data while the room waits for someone colder to speak with 10 words instead of 100. I know better. I know presence matters more than proof. I know control matters more than facts. I know the one who defines the frame dictates the truth. If you want clever pickup lines, you won't find them here. If you want jokes, comfort, or cheap approval, you're in the wrong room. What I offer is clarity, precision, inevitability. These 5 traps are not warm. They are not polite. They are not designed to make you liked. They are designed to make you felt. When you understand them, you stop being one more voice in the noise. You become gravity in the silence. You don't beg for attention, you command it. You don't explain your worth, you become the standard by which worth is measured. That is the value I'm promising. 5 shifts, 5 traps, 5 laws that, once you see them, you cannot unsee. Once you use them, you cannot return to ordinary speech, ordinary presence, ordinary weakness. The choice is simple. Continue as the 99%, flooding the world with explanations, apologies, justifications. Or step into the 1%, where your silence weighs more than their words, your absence cuts deeper than their presence, and your image rewrites the rules of how people experience you. You will not win by being louder. You will not win by being kinder. You will not win by being fair. You will win by controlling the image, the frame, and the rhythm of emotion. That is what Machiavelli would teach today. That is what I will show you next. 99% of men collapse before they even start. They think their downfall is weakness, lack of money, lack of beauty. Wrong. Their downfall is predictability. At work, I've watched them rush into meetings like gladiators armed with charts, statistics, long explanations. They think that proving more means winning more. They flood the room with words, with logic, with desperate attempts to be validated. And the louder they argue, the less anyone remembers. Their voices echo, but their influence evaporates. The meeting ends and the quietest man, the one who spoke last or not at all, becomes the center of the decision. In relationships, it's worse. I've seen men type out novels after the smallest disagreement. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I just wanted you to know." Pages of words that reek of fear. Every line is an attempt to hold on. Every apology erases respect. And the more they explain, the colder she becomes. She doesn't feel heard. She feels chased. And what runs toward you with desperation always drives the other away. With friends, they overclarify. They narrate their lives like guilty defendants. "I didn't mean to be late. Here's why. Here's the excuse. Here's the full story." They don't realize no one cares. Every explanation is an admission of weakness. Every extra word is a loss of weight. And so their lives follow the same loop. Noise, apology, justification, exhaustion. They give more and more is ignored. They explain more and less is understood. They chase harder and attraction vanishes. Here's the law. People don't follow the man who explains. They follow the man who reframes. They don't crave words, they crave gravity. Why do 99% fail? Because they confuse connection with availability. They confuse clarity with influence. They think respect is built by proving, when in truth it is built by withholding. They think love is secured by apology, when in truth it is secured by boundaries. I've learned the opposite. When a woman sends a sharp text, I don't explain. I leave her with silence. That silence grows heavier than any speech. She replays it in her head, searching for meaning, until she convinces herself I must be stronger than she expected. When a rival tries to trap me with words in front of a crowd, I don't fight with facts. I redirect the frame with one calm sentence. Suddenly, it is his energy that looks desperate, not mine. The pattern is simple. Explanation makes you forgettable. Silence makes you magnetic. Justification makes you replaceable. Boundaries make you untouchable. Machiavelli warned of this centuries ago. He wrote that men judge more by their eyes than their hands, meaning they follow the image, not the work. What you do is forgotten. What you radiate stays. And this is where the traps come in. Because if you don't learn them, you will keep drowning in explanations. You will keep chasing instead of leading. You will keep trying to prove yourself to people who already decided your worth. But if you learn them, everything shifts. You stop being the man who tries to fix every mood with apologies. You stop being the colleague who speaks the most but is respected the least. You stop being the friend who explains every move. You become the man who says less, shows less, and yet commands more. The 99% will keep running in circles, giving, proving, explaining. The 1% will master silence, control framing, and understand that influence is never in the words themselves. It's in the gaps between them. And that is why most men fail. They never see the gap. They never use it. They fill it with words. And so they vanish. I don't. And after the next part, neither will you. Trap 1, speak less, watch closer. Most men fight words with words. They think quick replies prove strength. Machiavelli warned the opposite. Inconsistency breeds contempt. Power is not noise. Power is restraint. Imagine this. You're at a rooftop party. A man raises his glass and says, "To real men," then throws a sly jab at you. Most guys argue back, joke back, defend their pride with sound. I don't. I let silence stretch. 10 seconds. My eyes hold his. He feels his own words collapse under their weight. The group shifts. He looks insecure, not me. In relationships, it's the same. A woman provokes. "You're so cold. Do you even care?" Most men rush to explain, to reassure, to beg. I don't. I let her sit in the tension. Later, when her storm cools, she chases the stillness she couldn't shake. Your move. Next time you're challenged, cut your reply in half. Replace explanation with observation. Watch. Let silence expose what words cannot. Trap 2, control the frame, not the facts. People don't follow facts. They follow stories. The first picture painted controls the debate. In a meeting, a rival twists your idea. The crowd leans toward him. Most men defend, argue, drown in details. I don't. I nod and say, "Thanks for highlighting the core of our plan." In one line, I reframe his attack as my foundation. He argued facts. I stole the frame. The room follows me. With a woman, the same law applies. She says, "You're too confident." Most men deny it. I don't. I smile. Maybe. But what do you usually do when someone doesn't give you the answer you expect? Suddenly, she's not questioning me. She's revealing herself. Your move. Track who defines the frame first. Never fight inside it. Replace it. Quietly. Casually. Like it was always yours. Trap 3. Win the mind before the heart. Attraction without belief is fragile. A woman may like your attention but leave if her worldview about men stays negative. So I ask her guiding questions. What does trust mean to you? Then silence. She reveals beliefs no joke could reach. I don't sell myself. I anchor her emotions to me. At work, the same law. Before persuading a client, I uncover their fear. What keeps them awake at night? Then I shape my proposal as the cure. I don't argue. I align with their deepest concern. Your move, before investing effort, uncover the belief. Win the narrative inside their head before asking for loyalty. Trap 4. See through the armor. Sarcasm, distance, coldness, they hide fear. Most men panic when they hear, "Do what you want." They chase harder. I don't. I see the armor. In relationships, when she withdraws, I say calmly, "I can tell this matters to you." No drama, no defense, just recognition. The mask cracks. She feels seen. In leadership, when a colleague mocks, I don't counter. I study. Later, when alone, I tell him, "You're sharper than you pretend." He softens. The armor was always insecurity. Your move. Don't fight sarcasm. Don't chase coldness. Name the tension once, calmly, then stop. Armor dissolves in recognition, not resistance. Trap 5. Stay a mystery no one can decode. Once they fully read you, they can manage you. Predictability kills power. On a weekend trip, friends ask for plans. Most men list everything. I don't. I leave gaps. Hours unspoken. They wonder where I am, what I'm doing. Curiosity rises. Attention shifts toward me without effort. In love, the same law. Reveal 80%. Leave the rest behind your eyes. Mystery breeds obsession. Certainty breeds boredom. Your move. Withhold one key detail daily. A plan, a thought, a feeling. Let others wonder. Let silence become your shadow. 5 traps. Each simple. Each surgical. Each rooted in psychology. The Zygarnik effect, dopamine reinforcement, the competitive instinct, emotional framing. And each one proves the same law. Influence is not in what you give. It's in what you withhold. Real power does not shout. Real power does not explain. Real power refuses to chase. That is the shift most men will never make. They cling to noise because silence terrifies them. They cling to proof because invisibility terrifies them. They cling to women, to jobs, to friends because absence terrifies them. And so they remain predictable, controllable, forgettable. I chose the opposite. I chose to stop chasing. I chose to stop apologizing for boundaries. I chose to let silence hang heavier than explanation. And the result was immediate. Influence grew, respect hardened, attraction sharpened. These 5 traps are not tricks. They are mirrors. They reveal who is grasping, who is centered, who is bound to others, and who forces others to orbit around them. When you use them, you change perception not just of you but of the entire dynamic. I no longer waste time trying to prove value. I radiate it by refusing to explain. A woman doesn't respect me because I tell her why she should. She respects me because she feels, deep down, that I don't need her validation. A rival doesn't fold because I out-argue him. He folds because I don't fight on his terms. Power lies not in the loud gesture but in the subtle gravity that shifts a room without noise. When you master these traps, you become that gravity. Think of how people react when they cannot decode you. Their minds don't rest. Their bodies feel tension. The Zygarnik effect ensures they replay your silence, your unfinished sentences, your sudden withdrawal. Uncertainty hooks them. Predictability releases them. That is not theory, it is neurology. Dopamine fires harder under doubt than under safety. The chase always flips at the same moment. When she realizes she cannot predict you, cannot control you, cannot explain you. When your presence feels certain, but your next move does not. That tension is obsession. And in leadership, the same law applies. People do not admire the manager who explains everything, who fills every silence with data. They admire the leader whose calm makes storms feel smaller, whose stillness makes others doubt their own noise. They trust what they cannot shake. That is why these traps matter. They are not about being cold, they are about being immovable. They do not kill connection, they deepen it. They cut through shallow comfort and replace it with clarity, tension, and respect. I have watched women go from dismissive to restless without me saying a word. I have watched rivals collapse under their own arguments while I remained silent. I have watched friends lean in because I said less, not more. The shift of perception is brutal but liberating. You are no longer one voice among many. You are no longer chasing, no longer defending, no longer begging to be seen. You are gravity itself. Machiavelli said it centuries ago. It is safer to be feared than loved. But the real secret is this: once fear of losing you exists, love follows naturally. Respect first, desire second. Absence first, obsession second. Most men will ignore this. They will go back to explaining, apologizing, oversharing. They will remain predictable, replaceable. But once you use these traps, you don't return. You can't. Because you see the truth. Silence moves faster than words. Absence cuts deeper than presence. Mystery outlasts proof. That is the perception I carry now. That is the perception you will carry next. Remember the mantra: choose yourself and the world chooses you. You have seen the traps. You have felt the shift. The loud majority will return to noise, to apologies, to proof. But you, if you understood this, will not. You will walk differently. You will speak less. You will hold silence until it bends others to you. This is not about cruelty. It is about clarity. The man who explains is ignored. The man who withholds is remembered. The man who begs is replaced. The man who withdraws becomes irreplaceable. So let this be sealed: you no longer seek approval, you set the standard. You no longer chase, you make gravity. If this cut through, write one word. Mark the moment. Because what comes next is darker, sharper, more dangerous. Soon I will show you how to turn silence itself into pure authority.